Hey guys, welcome back to my melee modding tutorial. In this episode I'm going to be covering asynchronous and synchronous timers. They're very important. Last episode I covered hitbox editing, so if you watched that and you watched this video, you'll be able to change a lot of moves just with these two things. They're very important. So the first thing you need to do is you need to open up Crazy Hand. I talked about that last episode. You should really watch the first episode before this, because hitbox editing is obviously more important than this. So I recommend creating a copy of your ISO to do all of your testing on. I have one. So asynchronous timers are basically like, on this frame, everything beyond this will happen. Like, I'm just going to go into a move, like a Bowser's dash attack. You can see right here at slot number 3, there's an asynchronous timer with frame 10. That means everything past this asynchronous timer will happen on frame 10. Now you can see we got a synchronous timer here. What a synchronous timer is, it's basically after a set amount of frames, in this case 4, everything beyond this will happen. So, as you can see, basically on frame 14, because we got that asynchronous timer there, and then this 4-frame synchronous timer, on frame 14, this hitbox will come out. And then on frame 18, 4 frames later, the hitboxes will be destroyed by this terminate collisions here. So you can just kind of, using synchronous and asynchronous timers, you can just kind of read what the move is doing a lot easier. Like here we got an asynchronous timer for frame 28. And so on frame 28, sound effect, these 3 graphics effects, and this rumble will all happen. So these are very powerful. I think I'm going to change a move. I'm just going to select one of Bowser's moves and make the hitbox last a tiny bit longer. I think I'm going to use his up tilt. I think I'm going to make his up tilt last a tiny bit longer. Okay, so these are the only 2 hitboxes here. So let's look for this terminate collisions here. Here it is. So 4 frames after the hitbox comes out, it gets terminated. So I'm just going to change this to 6 frames. Now the hitbox lasts for 2 frames longer than it did before. And as you can see here, this asynchronous timer is at the 50 frames. This synchronous timer here does not affect this at all, because this is essentially telling, because the asynchronous timer is essentially telling the move, hey, at this frame, let's turn off. Everything before me, it does not affect me. That's kind of a thing with asynchronous timers. Everything before the asynchronous timer does not matter. It will still do the same thing. Nothing you can do before it will change it. So let's test this out. By the way, I'm sorry for my voice sounding a bit weird. I had an orthodontist appointment, so my voice sounds a little bit funny. So this is the debug menu. I think I'm going to make a separate video on it. You can do a ton of things here. What I'm interested in is activating the show hitbox features. So, let's just view the hitbox for his up tilt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. The hitbox comes out in frame 7 and lasts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 frames. That is that is 2 frames longer than it should have lasted. Now, Bowser's up tilt usually hits opponents that are behind him, but now it pretty much always will, because of the hitbox that reaches behind him very easily. because the hitbox lasts 2 frames longer than it should have. If I'm using the right ISO. Yeah. So, just so you can get a difference, just so you can see a difference, because I know nobody plays Bowser, I'm going to change this back to 4. So the hitbox only lasts for 4 frames. Let's go back into the debug menu. And let's view the hitbox for this. So it comes out on frame 7. Changing that synchronous timer has nothing to do with when the hitbox came out. And it lasts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. It lasts for 4 frames. Now, you can see the difference, not only because I counted it out, but because it's just quite noticeable too. So, that's sort of the base. That's like asynchronous and synchronous timers down. They're pretty easy to understand once you've done enough of it. They're very important in modding, so it's important that you learn how to do it. I think I'll do one more example of using a. I'll do one more example of using an asynchronous timer. And this is actually a very good example. Roy's dash attack is a very broken move because the hitbox cuts out way too early. So, let's look here. Here's the terminate collisions thing. So I don't see any other terminate collisions in this. So this is what turns the hitbox off, right here. Now, Roy's dash attack, it has an issue where the hitbox basically cuts off right before the sword is about to hit the opponent. And that's not good. Sometimes the sword just goes straight through them, and that's not fair. So I'm going to make the hitbox last for 2 frames longer. Let's change this to 6. Because essentially, what I'm telling this asynchronous timer is to do everything after it. In which case, it's only the terminate collisions because of this asynchronous timer. I'm telling it to run this terminate collision commands 2 frames longer, or 6 frames after the graphic effects and the hitbox come out. So let's view the hitbox now using the debug menu. No, not training mode. I wonder where Roy is. I think it's emblem. I'm not sure. Alright, yeah, it is. Alright, let's view the hitbox for this dash attack. Zoom in. And, as you can see, the hitbox still comes out quite early. That's not what we're trying to fix. As you can see, his blade is fully extended, but the hitbox is still there. And it also stayed active for 1 more frame, too. This is an example, very basic example of me using an asynchronous timer for this mod. For a mod, I guess. I guess now I can actually hit people. Look at that. Alright, that's pretty much it. I'm sure you probably get it by now. So, I'm just gonna skedaddle now. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.